Hello, Heather Broadbent here, violinist and instructor at online violin education, where I train violinists all over the world how to improve their technical skill sets for more melodic playing. I'm so excited you are here. This is day one of the Gorgeous Tone Challenge. So we're going to go through 5 days of Gorgeous Tone challenges. So every day you'll have a little bit of a challenge to focus on, a little assignment to improve your tone and to practice that day. And you get to follow along in the Facebook study group where you can comment how it went for the day, okay? So what I've done is I've picked the top 5 limiting factors that I have found violinists have that are blocking them from reaching their tone potential. Now, granted, the equipment that you have, your violin, your strings, and your bow, are influencing factors in the type of tone that you'll be able to produce. However, there is a lot that you can do technically as a violinist, no matter what equipment that you have, to make your tone be gorgeous. So even if you take the superstar violinists, even if you give them a pretty crappy violin, they're still going to make it sound good. Now, if we could all have Guarneris and Stradivarius and Amatis, that would be incredible, but we can't. And that's actually, in a way, a good thing, because we can discover how to produce a good tone with the equipment that we have, okay? So from day one, don't say, oh, well, if I had a better violin, I'd have a better tone. Yes, it's probably true. However, there is always something you can do to produce a better tone, okay? So, first off, here we are at day one. And the first thing I see violinists struggle with, and it's contributing to an awful sound, is the fact that they're unable to pull straight bows. So that's our challenge for today, is to discover our bowing, okay? So you need to be able, from frog to tip, pull a straight bow. Okay, a lot of violinists have what I call this rowing motion, and you get really crooked bows. Hear what happens to the tone. It gets very, it doesn't sound very good. So first off, we need you to pull straight bows. That's number one, okay? And to eliminate that rowing motion. We're going to talk a little bit about bow arm mechanics here at day one, and also in day two. Day two, we'll be talking about bow arm mechanics and the flow of the bow, okay? So we'll just touch a bit on this today. You want to make sure that your upper arm is staying still, okay? And I do have what's called a magical genie exercise on YouTube, and I won't get into detail about it here. I'll just leave a link and you can check it out. If you want to look it up, it's Heather Broadbent Magical Genie, you'll find it. And it's about how to practice this motion with your bow arm to make sure that you're not doing what I call the rowing motion. You can also stand against a wall, have your bicep against the wall, so that you're not able to back up here in the arm, okay? So you want to avoid this motion. It's basically keeping the upper arm still and working out like this, okay? That way you'll get a nice straight bow, okay? So from frog to tip. Now you can do this first off visually to make sure that it's going straight, and you can compare your stick to the bridge. You compare your stick to the fingerboard, okay, that it's going straight. Do keep in mind though, you want to double check, because everybody's bodies are different, your setups are different, how you visually see is different. We can't can this and say, okay, everybody does it this way. I suggest you actually do this in front of a mirror and make sure that your bow's going straight. Remember how that feels, and then watch. Maybe for you it is actually going straight compared to the bridge, or maybe for you it's actually going straight compared to the fingerboard. Better yet, take a video camera and record yourself while you play a straight bow, comparing it to the bridge, and then watch the video and see, was that truly straight? Same, take a straight bow compared to the fingerboard. Again, watch in the video that it was truly straight. The third way, you can just make sure that you are cross with the string, okay? That it's a completely perpendicular cross, okay? Now, after years of teaching, 20 years of teaching experience, and working with all different violinists, Everybody has a different way to see, to feel if that bow is straight. You just have to find which one works for you, okay? So these are the 3 options I give you to help you make sure that your bow is truly going straight. Then what you have to do is make sure your bow is going straight in order to develop the muscle memory, so then you don't have to think about it anymore, that your bow is truly going straight, okay? And do make sure at the tip that it's going straight, that you stop when you're at the tip, that it's a completely straight bow, because that will affect the tone on the up bow. If your bow is going slightly crooked, it's going to affect the tone as opposed to if it's going straight. And this is very, very important in martelé strokes, or any stroke that may have a pop or bite at the beginning of the stroke, because if you're going crooked, you're not going to get so much of a bite. So it's really important that you are watching that you're going straight, okay? So I have an exercise to give you for the day. What you're going to need is a metronome. And you want to set that metronome at 60. And what you're going to do is time yourself for 2 to 5 minutes a day. We're going to start today, and you can choose to continue to do the same exercise throughout the 5-day challenge. I would recommend it, if you have the time, to do 2 to 5 minutes specifically on this exercise. You'll set your metronome to 60, and each day you're going to focus on 1 string, okay? So if you decide to carry this out through the 5-day challenge, by the 4th day, you will have done all 4 strings. The 5th day, you can choose which one was the most challenging for you and focus on that one. So what you're going to do is divide your bow up into 4 equal parts, okay? 4 equal segments. And you'll get your metronome going. So you're going to start at the frog, and each click that you hear is 1/4 of the bow, okay? So here we go. So that's the exercise. And what you're aiming for is that your bows are completely straight and that you have your bow in a suitable contact point. So let's talk about contact points, okay? We're just going to talk a little bit about it because we can go quite a bit into contact point. So the contact point is where your bow, your hair is hitting the string, all right? Now when I did that, I was kind of close to the bridge, actually, to produce a really good tone, so you can see where I was when I did that. Basically, right now, for beginner violinists exploring their tone, or even advanced violinists doing this exercise for the first time, you can go ahead and start right in the middle, between the bridge and the fingerboard, okay? Now, technically, there are 5 different contact points, and I'm only going to discuss 3 of them with you in this video for the sake of time. You can be close to the fingerboard, which you'll find is a quieter sound. In the middle, it's quite a bit louder. And then if you get close to the bridge, it's really loud, and you have to pull with a quite a bit slower bow in order to produce a good tone. But for this exercise, for beginner violinists, just focus on being in the middle, straight bows between the fingerboard and the bridge with straight bows. You're aiming for a constant tone. You don't want any kind of coming in or out, any bouncies. Ideally, for advanced violinists, you can start listening to your bow changes, that they're really smooth and connected. And it's a wonderful exercise, 2 to 5 minutes, okay? So that's your challenge for today. For day 2, we're gonna be discussing a little bit more about bow arm mechanics and speed. I'll see you then. Ciao.